Hello, and welcome to Sakua Misiel. I'm Michelle Damarys, intuitive artist and medium. You're joining me now for Turning Seeds. We will continue the book that we started last week called You Reach Sam by Dustin Thao. As a recap, Sam took Julie to the university campus that she had thought about going to, and she didn't seem that thrilled when they got there. And that's where we left off last week, and we'll pick up now on what happens next in this story. So grab your coffee, grab your blanket. If you need help falling asleep, listen to this while you fall asleep. Whatever it is to feel cozy at this moment, take a few deep breaths in, relax, and we begin this story of You Reach Sam by Dustin Thao. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see what this campus is all about, he says. We really don't have to, I say. I'm fine with what I see from the car, really. Fine, he sighs. Then I'll drive the car onto the quad. He pulls out his keys and stands. What? Sam. It's something he would absolutely do. I grab him before he steps around the car. Okay, I'll go. Sam smiles as he takes both my hands and helps me out of the car as fog begins to rise around us. I follow Sam into it like walking through a wall of smoke as strobe lights flash all around me and music begins to blare, growing louder until I realize I've gone somewhere else. The smoke fades as Sam takes me down to a crowded basement in someone's house while their parents are out of town. It's my first high school party, and I don't know anybody here. There's a ping pong table littered with red and blue cups. People are not really dancing, but swaying to the music. Several guys are wearing sunglasses indoors. It looks like I came late. Did you want something to drink? Sam asked through the music. Sure, what do they have? Sam looks at the bar against the wall. Do you like beer? He asks. Yeah, I lied. I'm not planning to drink anything. I just wanted something to hold. I remember a trick my mother told me she used back in her day. Dump it out and fill it with cranberry juice. I hear her voice in my head. Sam leads me through the crowd toward a red couch in the back where a girl in a white sweatshirt is sitting with her legs crossed. This is my cousin Mika, Sam introduces us. This is Julie. She just moved here. Mika stands to shake my hand. Nice to meet you, she says. Where are you from again? Seattle. Right, I can tell. You can? I ask, unsure of what to make of that. Sam looks at her, then back at me. So how do you like Ellensburg so far? He asks. I can tell he's already had something to drink. I don't know yet, I say. There isn't really a lot to do around here. Sam nods. Yeah, I guess. You're probably used to what? Laser shows and holograms and 3D arcades and stuff like that. She said she's from Seattle, not the future, Sam, Mika says. No, we have some of those things, I say. Sam looks at Mika. See? Someone bumps into me, almost knocking over my drink, so I step out of the way. This is a senior party, Sam says to impress me. I had to ask Spence if you could come. He's the one that lives here. It's his older brother's party. I can't think of anything else to say but cool. A minute passes without saying anything. Sam tries to make small talk. So, what do you like to do for fun? I like to write, I say. Like books? I guess so. I mean, I haven't written one yet, but someday. What's your favorite book? He asked. I like The Buried Giant. That's my favorite too, Sam says. He's lying. He never read that, Mika says. Sam shoots her a look. Mika mouths, I'll leave you two alone, and disappears through the crowd. Okay, maybe I haven't read that yet, Sam admits, but I know the author. He's Japanese, right? Yeah, Ishiguro. I knew it, Sam nods. My mom has all his books in our living room. The loud music slows down to something more palatable. The blues of an electric guitar with a Laninisket voice swaying through it. It's Mark Lanigan. Do you know him? Of course, I lie. He's from here, you know, Ellensburg. My dad ran into him at the gas station once. How cool, I lie again. Yeah, see, exciting things happen here too. Ellensburg is a great place. You're really gonna like it, he says with some confidence. I've been to Seattle and it sucks. You're so lucky you left. I love Seattle, I say. Oh, yeah? I've heard good things, he tries to smile. This is a good song, I say. It's Strange Religion, Sam says, nodding to the melody. One of my favorites. He listened to the song, nodding along, awkwardly looking at each other from time to time, while others in the basement have coupled together slow dancing. When Sam nearly stumbles, I catch his arm. You should sit down, I say, and help him to the couch. Sam rests the back of his head against the wall, and I can't tell if he's about to fall asleep. He seemed fine a moment ago. You don't drink often, do you? I ask. No, Sam says. Me either, I say. I'm really glad you came tonight, he says. I wasn't sure if you would. Well, I did, I say. I take the cup from his hand and place it on the table. Maybe we can hang out sometime, like after school or something. I like that. Do you drink coffee? No, but I'm teaching myself to, I say. I'm really glad you came tonight. You just said that. Sam smiles at me and shuts his eyes. Suddenly the music cuts off. Someone flickers the lights on and off. A voice shouts down from the top of the stairs. Dudes, cops are outside, back door, everybody. Sam, wake up. We have to go. Huh? He yawns as I wrap his arm around my neck and lift him up from the couch. A stampede of body races towards the backyard as I limp and stumble, trying to follow them out. Eventually, I make it through the door and emerge into complete darkness as the weight of Sam vanishes from my shoulders. The scene changes again, and I find myself somewhere else. A breeze blows against my skin, and when I look up through the dark, I see I've made it outside. I blink, and a baseball diamond emerges through the moonlight. A telescope stands in the middle, angled towards the sky. Leaning down beside it is Sam, who is trying to adjust something. This isn't going to work, he says. What's wrong, I ask. He looks up at me, his eyes flashing with disappointment. It's too cloudy out, you can't see anything. I thought this would work. I wanted to surprise you, he says. I squint at the sky. Surprise me with what? Stars? No, I wanted to show you Saturn's rings. For that story you're writing in class, you said you wish you could see it so you could describe it better. He leans down, checking the lens of the telescope again. Dang it. I can't believe you went out of your way to do this. I emailed the astronomy department at the university and everything, he tells me. And they're only letting me borrow the telescope for tonight. Sam, I whisper, and touch his back. He looks up from the lens. He and I have never kissed before. I'll never forget his look of surprise when I pulled his face up slowly with my hands and pressed my lips to his. And we felt a slight shock of static from the middle of the telescope. "Thank you for this," I whisper. "But you didn't even get to see it." "I'm good with my imagination." We both smile. Sam puts his hands around me and pulls me in for a longer second kiss beneath the cloudy sky and bars of moonlight breaking through it. I remember he said later, "I'll show you them another time, I promise." He never kept that promise. Chapter 4. Now. The bell echoes down the empty hallway as I arrive late to school. I missed the bus this morning. Now I have to make an entrance to a class that's already started and draw more attention to myself. I consider skipping first period to avoid this altogether. But I've been absent for an entire week of school now, and I'm already here. I might as well get this over with, since I'll have to face everyone sooner or later. At least I remembered to set my alarm yesterday, but I never planned to wake up in Sam's bed and have to rush home. Sam. I'm still trying to wrap my head around last night. The phone call in the woods, hearing his voice again. It was all real, wasn't it? How else would I have ended up in his room? Only 7 hours of this place, I remind myself. Then I can call him again. It's all I can think about. It's what keeps me together as I brace myself for the rest of the school day without him here. I take a deep breath before I step through the door to first period. All heads turn slowly towards me as the room silences. Mr. White pauses his chalk on the board and opens his bearded mouth as if he's about to say something. But he looks away and continues his lecture, allowing me to go find my seat. As I slip between desks, no one makes eye contact with me. When I see the empty table by the window with 2 chairs, my heart stops. It's where Sam and I usually sat together. But I don't stall for too long because I sense people staring. I take another breath before I walk over and set my things down. I don't look at anyone. I just stare at the front of the room and watch the minutes tick, tick away on the clock. After class, everyone ignores me. No one asks how I'm doing or looks my way. I don't know what I was expecting coming back. It's hard not to let it bother me. Maybe they all noticed I wasn't at the funeral. Maybe they think I'm some cold, heartless person who feels nothing after her boyfriend died. The rest of the day goes like this. Hallways grow silent as I walk through them, and whispers follow. But I keep my chin straight and pretend I don't hear anything. I suddenly remember the photo Taylor took of me and wonder who she sent it to. Probably their senior group, everyone at the bonfire that night. I'm sure it made them feel better, seeing me like that. Thankfully, I don't have any classes with her or Liam. I've been trying hard to avoid those 2 all day. I even took the other stairs to avoid passing by their lockers. At lunch, I don't know where to sit. I take my time, placing food on my tray as I look around for Mika. I haven't seen her all morning. Maybe she's still taking time off from school. She hasn't contacted me since we met at the diner yesterday. If only she knew what happened last night. After I called Sam, and he picked up, but I can't possibly tell her anything yet. Would Sam want me to? I should ask him before I make any decisions. If our phone calls are real, I don't want to risk anything. There are plenty of chairs open, but nowhere to sit. I consider eating outside, but I feel everyone watching me. I don't want them thinking I'm afraid to eat alone. I won't be one of those girls who ends up hiding in a bathroom stall. I search for an empty table in the back of the cafeteria. Something catches my eye. Behind a chair, rose jewels glitter along the white silk backpack. It belongs to my friend, Yuki. Her smooth black hair flows down her back, long and beautiful. She is sitting by the window with 2 other exchange students, Rachel from Vietnam and Jay from Thailand. I head over and set down my tray. Is anyone sitting here? Blinking eyes look up from the cafeteria food and lunch boxes. Jay, who is a head taller than the rest of the table, removes his headphones and brushes his dark waves from his forehead. He's wearing a striped blue baseball jersey he bought on his trip to Seattle. No, of course, Rachel says. Her hair is tied back in a ponytail today. She moves her bag to make room for me. Please, join us. Thank you, I say. Awkward smiles are exchanged as I take a seat between her and Jay. Yuki and I share a nod from across the table. We eat in silence. Usually the 3 of them are bright with conversation, but there's a weight at the table that keeps us quiet and somber. Without saying anything, Jay slides a box of mango slices in front of me, a sympathy offering. I smile at him and take a slice. Then Jay pushes a bag of homemade cookie toward me, along with those mini green tea Kit Kats that he knows are my favorite. They're his favorite too. I try to push them back, but he insists. How about we split it, he says. He's always been sweet this way. Rachel smiles at me. We missed you, Julie, she says. We've been thinking about you. We're glad to have lunch with you again. And we miss Sam too, Jay says mournfully. We're really sorry about what happened. The table goes silent again. Yuki's eyes flash between me and Jay as if she's reading my reaction to Sam's name, to make sure it's okay to bring him up. It does feel strange to have them talk about him like this, like I wasn't on the phone with him last night. Sam was a great friend, Yuki adds, nodding. She tries to smile. To all of us, we'll always remember him. Always, Rachel says. It warms me to hear this, especially coming from Yuki. She knew Sam longer than the others. She lived with his family during the first year of her exchange program. Sam was the first person she met when she arrived in Ellensburg, and he showed her around. His mother hoped it would help him improve his Japanese. The day after the funeral, she stopped by my house to drop off soup and tea for me, even though I ignored all her messages. Jay and Rachel moved here a few months ago. It's their first year in Washington. We have a few other international students. The ones from Europe are treated like royalty and get invited to all the parties. Yuki, Jay, and Rachel, on the other hand, have had a more difficult time finding their place. They get alienation treatment despite their fluency in English. No one makes the effort to talk to them like the French and German students, so they rely a lot on each other. The terrible thing is, when people see them together all the time, they accuse them of isolating themselves from the rest of the school. I never noticed this until Sam mentioned it to me. Sam told me his friends would refer to them as those Asians. When Sam finally said, I'm Asian, too. One of his friends replied, yeah, but you're different. Because Sam was born here and didn't have an accent. Sam never said anything back. He just grabbed his things one day and moved to Yuki's table, and I went with him. Now lunch feels empty without him here, like something's missing. I know the others sense it too. Jay passes me another Kit Kat and leans into me. Let us know if you need anything, he whispers. We're always here for you. I don't know what else to say to everyone but thank you. I poked at my salad with a fork as we continue to eat in silence. Much later, almost out of nowhere, I say to the table, I think Sam would be happy to know what you guys said about him. I know in my heart this is true, and I plan to tell him later. At the end of school, I hurry to my locker to grab my things. I'm trying not to run into anyone. I just want to head home and call Sam as soon as I get to my room. It's what we've planned. As I'm standing there, I sense someone behind me. There's a tap on my shoulder. Julie? I turn around to meet dark green eyes. It's Oliver, Sam's best friend, standing a bit too close. He's wearing his blue Letterman jacket. His backpack hangs over a single shoulder. You're really back? Did you need something? I wanted to say hi. Oh, hi, I said quickly. I turn back to my locker and grab another book, hoping he'll take the hint. Oliver doesn't move. How have you been lately? Fine. Oh. He waits for me to say more, but I don't. Maybe he was expecting a different answer. I'm not in the mood to have that conversation right now, especially with him. But he keeps talking. It's been a real week, hasn't it? I guess you could say that. Are you sure you're okay? Oliver asked again. I said I'm fine. I don't mean to be so rude, but Oliver and I have never been good friends, despite his relationship with Sam. There was always some tension between us I never completely understood. It always felt like the two of us were competing for Sam's attention. There was a time when I wanted to get to know Oliver. Whenever we were together with Sam, I remember trying to start a conversation with him, but he'd always be short with me or pretended not to hear it. He would invite Sam somewhere and say there's no room in his car or spare ticket for me. So forgive me if I'm in no mood for a chat, especially since Sam isn't around anymore. I don't have to be friendly. I don't owe him anything. Oliver was also one of those people there at the bonfire that night. Maybe that's what he wants to talk about. I'm not looking for a confrontation right now. I shut my locker. I have to go. But I was hoping you and I could talk or something, he says, somewhat tensely. I don't really have the time right now, sorry. I walk off without saying anything else. Wait, just for 1 second. I keep walking. Please, Oliver calls after me. Something sharp and wounded in his voice cuts me, making me stop. Please, he says again, almost desperately this time. I don't really have anyone else to talk to. I turn around slowly. The two of us stand there, looking at each other as people walk right past us. Now that I'm looking at him, I can read the pain in his face. He lost Sam too. Except he isn't connected to him like I am. I step towards Oliver, closing the distance between us, and whisper, Is this about Sam? Oliver nods. Nobody else gets it, he says. Then he leans into me. Why did it have to happen to him, you know? I touch his shoulder and I feel how tense he is, like he's holding something in. Neither of us say any more because we don't need to. For the first time, it's like we understand each other. I know, I say. I'm really glad you're back, Oliver says. It was weird not having you around either. Then out of nowhere, he puts his arms around me and hugs me tight. The leather of his jacket is soft against my cheek. I usually shy away from this sort of affection, but for this occasion I allow it. We both lost somebody we loved. After a moment, Oliver pulls away and readjusts his backpack. Is it okay if I text you sometime? Just to talk? Of course you can. Oliver smiles. Thanks, I'll see you tomorrow. I watch him disappear down the hall. It almost feels like we just met for the first time. It's too early to say if Oliver and I might be friends after all of this. But at the very least, maybe things will be different. At home, I find my mother's car in the driveway. She's in the kitchen washing dishes as I make my way inside. As soon as I close the door, I hear the faucet shut off, followed by my mother's voice. Julie? She calls from the kitchen. Before I can answer, she storms down the hall with a look relief on her face. Where have you been all day? I take off my jacket. I was at school. I thought I told you yesterday. But why didn't you answer my messages, she asked. What messages? I texted you last night. I even called. You called me? I don't remember waking up to any notifications. The only person I've spoke to since last night was Sam. I checked my phone again. Are you sure I never got anything from you? I hand her my phone to see for herself. Of course I'm sure, she says, scrolling through it. That's so bizarre. I definitely text you. Do you think it's your phone? I guess it could be mine. Maybe it's the service. Maybe, my mother says, thinking. She hands me back my phone. You know, no matter how smart they try to make these things, they never work. She lets out a long breath. I'm sorry to worry you. It's all right, my mother says. I'm just glad you're fine. She takes my jacket from me and hangs it on a hook on the wall. Thankfully, I noticed your backpack was gone this morning, so I figure you were at school. How late did you come home last night? Oh, my eyes shift to the floor. She doesn't realize I never came home at all. Not too late, I say. You know, I could have given you a ride this morning. I don't really mind the walk. I turn toward the stairs. Wait. My mother stops me. How was school? Is everything okay? I pause on the first step. It was fine, I say without turning around. You don't want to talk about it? Maybe not this second. I'm a little tired. My mother nods. All right. You know I'm always here, Julie, she says as I head upstairs. But we should get your phone checked out soon. Mine too, now that I'm thinking about it. I've had a suspicion that someone's been trying to hack it. It's probably been tapped. Then again, what isn't these days? They're probably recording everything we're saying right now. Be careful. I will. I shut the door behind me and look around the room. Everything's exactly like I left it. I returned this morning from Sam's house to change and grab my things before school. That's why I was late to class. I didn't mean to spend the night in his room, but I was so exhausted, and Sam told me it was okay. I haven't spoken with him since then. I sit at the side of my bed and take out my phone. We made plans to talk after school once I got home. I remember making him promise me he'd pick up again. Otherwise, I couldn't fall asleep. I stare at the blank screen of my phone, while this rational part of me keeps thinking last night was all a dream. I look over and see his plaid shirt hanging on the back of my chair. On my desk is the other bookend that he gave me last night. His Radiohead shirt is folded and tucked away in the middle drawer. I checked a second ago to make sure it was still there. I check my phone. For some reason, Sam's number doesn't appear in the call history. I noticed this in the morning when I woke up. It's as if there's no record that it happened. There's no way this could be all in my head, could it? How else would I have known about the key under the mailbox? I guess there's only one way to be sure. I take a deep breath and dial Sam's number. The sound of the ringing makes me tense. But it only rings twice before he picks up. Julie. The knots in my chest undo themselves and I breathe easily again. Sam. You still sound relieved to hear me, he says with a laugh. The warmth of his voice pulls me back to the beginning, and it's like before. Can you blame me? I whisper, as if someone might hear us. I don't expect you to pick up. But I promised I would, didn't I? I swallow my breath, taking his voice in like air. I know you did, and that's why I called back. But you realize how crazy this is, right? You're supposed to be gone. What do you mean? He asks. My stomach hardens. I can't tell if he's being serious. He has to know what happened that night 1 week ago, right? The bonfire, the missed calls, the headlights on the road. There's no possible way he and I should be talking on the phone again. I'm almost afraid to ask this, but I have to know. The words are heavy in my throat. You died, Sam. You know that, don't you? There's a long silence before he answers. Sam lets out a breath. Yeah, I know. I'm still processing it. A chill goes through me. A part of me wanted to hear a different answer, something that would bring him back to me. So, am I imagining all of this? You're not imagining anything, Julie. I promise, okay? Another promise. Without an explanation. I grip the phone tight, trying to keep it together. I still don't understand how this is possible. How are we talking to each other? Sam goes quiet again. I move the phone to the other ear, waiting for his answer. Honestly, Jules, I don't really know, he says. All I know is that you called me and I picked up, and now we're connected again. It can't be that simple, though, I start. But why can't it be, Sam asks me. I know this doesn't make sense right now, but maybe we don't need to complicate it with questions we don't know the answers to. Maybe we can just enjoy this chance for what it is, for as long as we have it. I glance at the walls, thinking this over. Another chance to be connected again? Maybe he's right. Maybe this is a gift or a glitch in the universe, something far outside the realm of our understanding. I remember something from last night. When I was outside the cafe, you said something else. You said you wanted to give us a second chance at goodbye. You said that's why you picked up. Did you mean that? Sam takes his time to answer this. At some point, I think we both need to say it. But you don't have to worry about that right now, okay? So, Until then, I can still call you? Of course. Whenever you need me. And you promise to pick up? Always. Always. I close my eyes and take this all in. It doesn't take long for my mind to drift back to before everything changed and all the plans we made were still in place, before Sam died, and I could reach out to touch him and know he's there, before everything was taken from us. On the other line, I sense Sam is doing the same. When I open my eyes, I find myself alone in my room. As I think of Sam and this second chance we have, a question comes to me. I know I asked this before, but he never gave me an answer. Where are you, Sam? Somewhere, he answers vaguely. Where? I can't really say, at least not right now. For some reason, I sense I shouldn't push him on this. Is it anywhere I've been? I don't think so. I try to listen to the sounds on his end, but I can't hear anything else. Can you at least tell me what you see? He takes a moment. An endless sky. I look over to the window. The curtain is partly drawn, so I walk over and pull it out of the way. The window is already unlatched when I push it open, letting a breeze roll in. As I look out past the roofs of the houses, beyond the tops of the distant hills, and out towards the sky, I feel Sam listening. I ask him, are we looking at the same one? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I'm guessing this is all you can tell me. For now, at least, I'm sorry. It's okay, I say to ease him. I'm just glad you picked up the phone. I'm glad you called me, he says. Thought I'd never hear from you again. Tears form behind my eyes. I thought I lost you forever. I missed you. I missed you too. I missed you, infinity. I don't question him further on what's happening, at least not right now. I just take this for whatever it is, and I breathe in this impossibility of being reconnected to someone I thought I lost, no matter how ridiculous it seems. The rest of our phone call goes on like a daydream, as I continue to question what is real and what isn't. I'm wondering if any of it matters. We talk about ordinary things and it feels like old times again. I tell him what Yuki and the others said at lunch. I tell him about the rest of my day at school. Like my conversation with Oliver. Seems like something from my imagination, but there are things I can't explain. It would be easier to tell myself none of this is real, but then I see the physical objects in the room that shouldn't be there. The shirt, the bracelets, the other bookend. How could I have gotten these if he hadn't told me where the spare key was? Questions fill my mind, but I push them aside for now and allow myself to live in this beautiful, strange rabbit hole I've fallen into. I don't care how any of this is possible. I have Sam back. I don't want to let him go. Chapter 5. I've been working at Mr. Lee's bookstore for almost 3 years now. It is a relic of a place filled with leather bounds, rare foreign books, and collectibles, and has been around for 2 generations despite more people shopping online these days. It is the last bookstore in town. I found it by accident the first week I moved here. The store is nameless with no storefront signs outside. The only indication are the books stacked in spiral towers in the windows. Many of our customers wander in out of curiosity. To be honest, I wasn't sure how long the job would last when I applied. Every time I turn that corner on my way to work, I worry I'll find the lights off and the closed sign unturned at the door. I'm surprised Mr. Lee still manages to keep us around when there's so little to do. I can't thank him enough for his kindness. The crystal wind chime jangles against the glass door as I come in. It's the next day, and I decide to stop by after school to check in on things. After a week of radio silence on my end, it's time. When I step inside, it feels like I've gone through a portal. Light bulbs hang from strings at different heights in the air, blinking occasionally. The place looks small from the outside, but the 16 long rows of hand-painted bookshelves that nearly touch the ceiling makes the store seem massive. The store looks empty at first, more quiet than usual. Then I hear the struggling of a box being torn open, followed by the ripping of tape. Then the sound of several books tumbling onto the floor and someone's voice. "Oh, geez." I figured Tristan would be working today. I follow the voice and find him crouched down in the back of the fantasy section, mumbling to himself, picking up fallen books. I kneel down to help him out. "Need a hand?" "Huh?" "Ouch." Tristan turns too fast, bumping his head against the bookshelf ladder. "Oh my God, are you okay?" "Yeah, totally fine." Tristan winces, smiling through some pain. He blinks at me with recognition. "Julie? When did you get here?" "Just a second ago," I say as I check his forehead. "Maybe we should put something on that." Tristan waves it off. "No, really, I'm fine," he says again and laughs a little unconvincingly. "It happens to me all the time around here." That worries me a little. "Don't worry, it's only a bump." After we stack the books together, I help Tristan to his feet. He straightens up and runs his hand a few times through his brown curls, even though they bounce right back. It's a nervous tick of his. "I'm sorry I scared you," I say. "You didn't scare me," he says, dusting his sleeves off. "I was a little surprised, that's all. Didn't know you were coming in today." I felt like checking in. I know it's been a while. I glance around the store for changes, but it's exactly as I left it. I turn to Tristan. "Sorry for leaving you guys out of the blue. I heard you volunteered to take over my shifts. I never thanked you." "Oh, no need to thank me. I'm glad I could help. Besides Mr. Lee, it's only me and Tristan working there. If one of us is sick, the other one is responsible for their hours and closing the store. We rely a lot on each other, especially around finals, when we have to coordinate our exam schedules. I hate that I sprung an early week on him without a word. Tristan is a junior, so we never have class together. The first time we spoke was when we both sat down with Mr. Lee during our interview for this job. Mr. Lee said he was impressed with our knowledge of books and chose us specifically for the genres we read most. He noticed I'm well-read in young adult and literary fiction, and praised Tristan's expertise in science fiction and fantasy. We later learned we were the only ones who even applied. "I still feel guilty," I say. "You shouldn't," Tristan says, shaking his head. "You should take off however much time you need. I like being here, so don't feel bad." The wind chimes jingle, letting us know a customer has come in. Tristan looks over his shoulder and runs a hand through his hair. He whispers somewhat carefully, "So, how are you doing? By the way, I've been wanting to reach out, but I wasn't sure if it was too soon, you know? I'm sorry about what happened to Sam. Things must be hard right now. I stare at the floor, wondering what to say. Ever since Sam picked up, it's as if the whole world flipped again, and I'm no longer sure how to respond to these questions. How do you bridge grief and hopefulness without having someone take it the wrong way, without hinting at your secret? I'm just taking it one day at a time. Tristan nods. That makes sense. The wind chime jingles again. I use this momentarily distraction to change the subject. I run a hand along the shelves. Anyway, how's the store been? Pretty good, Tristan says, understanding. Actually, you should see this. He takes my arm, pulling me to another section of the store. A woman and her son are perusing some used books by the front window. Tristan smiles at them. Let me know if you guys need anything, he says. We arrived at the science fiction, his favorite section. Look, the entire Space Ninja series, collector's edition, Tristan says, showing me the shelf he's been working on. They only have 50 of them in the world. Oh wow. Tristan opens up the book with careful hands. It has a holographic map of the entire Next Pod galaxy. Isn't that cool? He turns the page. Here's a picture of Captain Megaclaws, also holographic. If you tilt it a little, his claws moves. It's beautiful. I touch the holographic paper as it glimmers. Looks expensive though. It's already sold. Oh, so why is it still here? I still have to ship it, he explains. Someone bought it online. We're online? Only since last week, Tristan says. We have an online store now and everything. It's really expanding our customer base. That's amazing. And Mr. Lee is okay with it? Of course. He even asks me to update our Facebook page. And we have a Twitter now, by the way. Do people still use that? You'd be surprised. Interesting. Tristan returns the book to the shelf. I also reached out to the author, Steve Anders. I asked him to come do a signing here and got a response. Oh my God, when is he coming? He's not, Tristan says, frowning. His publicist said they've never even heard of Ellingsburg. Most people haven't, I say with a sigh. At least you tried. Yeah, that's what Mr. Lee said. The wind chimes jingle again, bringing in another customer. It's always great to see people come into the store, even if they don't buy anything. After a quiet moment, I catch the scent of sage and tea leaves. A calm energy embraces the store. I turn to see the back room's door propped open, and Mr. Lee standing behind Tristan, a hand on his shoulder. He has that tendency to appear as if from nowhere. Good afternoon, Julie. Mr. Lee is all I get out. I was hoping he would be here today. I feel a pang of guilt in my chest for not reaching out sooner, but I know he understands. No one knows this, but Mr. Lee was with me the day I found out Sam died. In fact, it was right here in this store when I got the phone call from Mika in the morning. Mr. Lee picked me up off the floor, closed down the bookstore early, drove me to the hospital, and waited to bring me home. He's always loved having Sam around. Mr. Lee said he brought in good luck. What did I bring in? I once asked him. You brought in Sam. The books missed you, Mr. Lee says with a lift of a hand. While someone else might find his words strange, I've grown accustomed to how he imbues personalities into the books of the store, bringing them to life. For instance, when a new book would come in, he'd say, "We'll need to find this one a home." It always makes me smile. "I've kept them in my mind," I say. He nods. "I had a feeling you were stopping by," he says. "Perfect timing. There's something I would like you to see." We leave Tristan with the customers as we head to the back office. The room is behind a secret bookcase that isn't really a secret. Every time I step through it and follow the blinking string of lights and paper ornaments along the ceiling, I feel like Alice stepping through the looking glass. The room is filled with stacks of brown boxes, each filled with various books we either don't have space for yet or just haven't sorted through. Mr. Lee asks me to wait here while he disappears inside the little office in the corner. When he returns, he's holding a book I don't recognize right away. "I found this in last week's donation box. Take a look." He hands it to me. I run my hand over the cover. It's a beautiful brown, cloth-bound, soft to touch with embroidered floral patterns that appear dusted with gold with nothing written on top. Maybe the book sleeve is missing. I skim through some pages in search of the title, but everything's blank. "It's a notebook," Mr. Lee says. "Quite a beautiful one, don't you agree?" "It is," I whispered, admiring the quality of the pages. "I can't believe someone gave this away. It hasn't even been used yet." "I immediately thought of you," he says, and points to the old computer on the back table. "I noticed you stealing paper from the printer to write on, so I figure you might appreciate this gift. Who knows, maybe if you change the medium in which you wrote, it might inspire something." "I was only borrowing the paper," I say. Mr. Lee chuckles and waves it off. I look down at the notebook. "I can have this?" "As long as you make good use of it," Mr. Lee says with a nod. I think of it as an investment. How so? You see, once you finish your book, we can put it on the shelves, right in front of the store, he explains. And I can tell customers, "She wrote it here, you know, in the journal I gave her." I smile as I hold the journal close to me. Mr. Lee is always encouraging me to write more. Use your time at the store. Talk with the books for inspiration. They're full of ideas. Sometimes I share my stories with him to get his thoughts. Unlike my English teachers at school, Mr. Lee is well versed in the world of literature and always finds beauty in my words. He understands what it is I'm trying to say, even when I'm not sure myself. I don't know if I could write a whole book, though, I admit. I'm having trouble just thinking lately. I'm not sure what to write about anymore. "What have you been thinking about?" he asks. I run my hand along the spine of the journal. Everything, I guess, my life, what's happening in it, and Sam, of course. Then write it down. Write down what's happening. I look at him. "Mr. Lee, nobody wants to read about my life." "Who are you writing for again?" Mr. Lee asked, arching a brow. He asked me this before. I know the answer he wants to hear. I write for myself. I'm not sure what this really means, though. I can't help caring about what people think, especially about my writing. We have too many voices inside our heads. You have to pick out the ones that mean something to you. What story do you want to tell? I stare down at the journal thinking about this. I'll try, Mr. Lee. Thank you for this. And I'm also sorry for not letting you know I was gone. Mr. Lee holds up a finger to stop me. No apologies necessary. He opens the bookcase door and gestures towards the store. The books welcome you back. I always feel at home when I'm in the store. I could spend hours and hours in there. There's a comfort of being surrounded by walls of books. But as nice as it is to be back, Sam is waiting for me. We plan to make another call today, but this time he asked me to meet him somewhere new for us to talk. He said he wanted to show me something. I just made it out of the bookstore when the wind chimes went off again, followed by the sound of Tristan's voice. "Julie, wait." I spin around to see him with his hand extended, holding my phone. "You forgot something." A gasp escapes me. Oh my God. I grab the phone and press it tight against my chest. My heart is pounding as thoughts of what if flash through my head. What if I lost it? What if I couldn't call Sam back? How could I be so careless? How could I forgive myself? I make a promise to never do this again. "Thank you so much," I say breathlessly. "No problem," Tristan says. "You left it on the front counter." "You're such a lifesaver," Tristan laughs. "What would we do without our phones, right?" "You honestly have no idea, Tristan." I breathe relief and smile as I wait for him to head back inside, but he doesn't. He just stands there a bit awkwardly. "Was there something else?" Tristan scratches the back of his head. Sort of. I forgot to mention something earlier." "What is it?" "It's about the film festival, Spring Flick. My film was accepted. I wanted to tell you," he says. "That's incredible, Tristan. Congratulations. I knew it would be." Spring Flick is part of the annual Ellensburg Film Festival that takes place at the university. It's one of the biggest events in town. Tristan and his friends submitted a short film in the high school category. They spent the last 6 months filming a documentary on Mark Lanigan, the alternative rock musician from Ellensburg. Sam was a huge fan. "It's next month, a few weeks before graduation," Tristan goes on, running a hand through his hair. "I have an extra ticket. You mentioned you wanted to go last time if the film was accepted. Did you still want to?" The word graduation catches me off guard, and I nearly panic. Is it really only 2 months away? I haven't even heard from colleges yet. And I'm so behind on school. What if I don't catch up in time? I become so lost in thought, I forget what Tristan even asked me. I must take too long to respond because his face flushes and his voice stammers. "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have brought this up this soon. You probably have a lot on your mind right now. I should go back in." He turns towards the store. "Wait." I call him back. "Of course I'll go." "Really?" He asks, suddenly beaming. Okay, great, cool. I'll tell you more about it soon. And, let me know if you change your mind. That's cool too." "I'll be there, Tristan," I say as I turn to go. Tristan stands at the door waving as I cross the street and disappear around the corner. Cherry blossoms fall at my shoes as the bus drops me off at the university entrance. The brick tower of Barge Hall rises behind the trees as I look around. The paths throughout the campus are covered with pink and white petals. There is a stream of water that runs beside the library. I cross a bridge to get to the other side. As I cross the grass, branches drop petals on my hair and shoulders. A small breeze twirls them in the air as I keep walking. When the trees blossom in the spring, Central Washington feels like a place from a dream. The Sakura Festival happens once a year, and people from all over Washington come to see it. Sam and I would take the bus here all the time when the weather was warm. It is a beautiful stroll along the university paths. It is the first I'm seeing them this year. I breathe in the scent and remember the two of us walking together. Sam's hand in mine. Sam stops to sniff the air. This really takes me back. Is it close? I ask. He looks at me. To what? To the cherry blossoms in Japan. Sam takes a look around. That's like comparing a lake to the ocean. You know what I mean? It's not close at all. He just returned from a trip to Kyoto to visit his grandparents and attend the Sakura festival there. He said it was a family trip. I fold my arms. Thanks again for the invitation. I told you, he laughs as he takes my hands. We'll go this summer after graduation, I promise. You're gonna love it there. It'll be like nothing you've ever seen. Nothing like Ellensburg. Different worlds. I smile and kiss his cheek. I can't wait. So how are the blossoms this year? Sam's voice over the phone pulls me back. I called as soon as the paths cleared, and it's only us out here. They're beautiful, I say. I look up at the trees that line the paths, listening to the stream of water running somewhere up ahead. But nothing's like the ocean, right? Sam doesn't answer, but I sense him smiling on the line. Why did you ask me to come here again? It's our tradition, Sam says, to walk through here every spring, remember? I realize we never got to see them this year. And it made me a little sad. I didn't want you to think I forgot, so I figured I'd bring you here one more time, while I still can. But you're not here, I remind him. I know, Sam sighs, but I pretend I am, just for a second, right there beside you, like before. I close my eyes and try to imagine this. A breeze moves across my face, but nothing changes. You should have let me come with you last time. This can't make up for it. It's not the same, Sam, not at all. I know, but it's the best I could do right now. A couple holding hands walks past me, reminding me of what's missing. The touch of a hand, the warmth of skin, the sense of him beside me. Even though I'm connected to Sam again, he's not really here, is he? I squeeze the phone tight and push this thought out of my mind and keep walking. I was worried about being out in the open like this and running into someone. Sam told me I shouldn't tell anyone about our calls because he doesn't know what might happen. I don't want to take any risk, so I promise to keep our connection a secret for now. When the campus has cleared a little, I find an empty bench away from the path and sit down. So what's it like at school? Sam asks. Is everything different? You mean without you there? Yeah. I guess so, I say. I've only been back a few days, but I hate that you're not there anymore. I don't like sitting beside an empty chair, you know. Are people talking about me? I think about this. I don't know. I don't really talk to anyone. Oh, okay. There's something in his voice, a note of sadness. I'm sure people still think about you though, I add. They have photos of you in the front office and in some of the hallways. I always see them when I come in. People haven't forgotten you, if that's what you're wondering. Sam says nothing. I wish I knew what he was thinking. As I sit there in silence, thinking about people from school, a question comes to me. Are you talking to anyone else, Sam? What do you mean? I mean on the phone like this. No, only you. How come? Sam takes a moment. You're the only one who called me. I consider this. Does that mean if someone else had called you would have picked up for them too? I don't think so. Why is that? Because our connection is different, he says. And maybe I was waiting for your call in a way. Could it be something else, I asked? Like what? I don't know, I say, suddenly thinking about it. Maybe there's something you're supposed to tell me, or maybe there's something you need me to do. Or maybe I wanted to pick up and make sure you were okay, Sam says. Is that so hard to believe? I lean back against the bench and take this in. How long do we have this for? It won't be forever, if that's what you're asking. I was afraid he would tell me this. I swallow hard. So that means one day you won't pick up anymore. Don't worry. We would say goodbye first, okay? We'll know when it's going to happen before it does. You won't just leave again? I promise, Julie. I'll stay as long as I can. I shut my eyes for a moment and try to find comfort in this. I don't ask Sam any more questions. I don't want it to ruin this beautiful day. A breeze stirs petals along the grass. When I open my eyes, I look up through the branches and catch the sun glimmering like silver coins through the cherry blossoms. I wish you were here with me, I whisper. I wish I was there too. The sun has set by the time I get home. I was on the phone with Sam for so long I lost track of the day. I wanted to call again once I got back to my room, but he said we should wait until tomorrow. This is probably for the best. Even though school is the last thing on my mind, I have so much work to catch up on. I'm so behind on all my readings. They've piled up on my desk. It's a struggle to focus. I barely get through one chapter of my history book when a crack at the window jolts my head up. A second later, there's another crack as a rock comes flying into the room, bouncing across the floor. I rush to the window and look out. A tall figure moves across the driveway, a familiar one. Oliver? Is that you? Down below, Oliver stands in his Letterman jacket, waving up at me. Hey, what's up? I give him a look. What are you doing here? Oh, just passing by, he says, shrugging casually. Thought I'd say hi. Hope I'm not bothering you. Oliver, you threw a rock at my window. Right, my bad. That was totally rude of me, he says, holding both hands in the air as if surrendering to something. He doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Do you need something? I ask. He shakes his head. No, not at all. Maybe, sort of. Yes? No, just spit it out. Oliver drops his shoulder and sighs. I wanted to ask if you wanted to go on a walk or something. Right now? Unless you're busy. Kind of. Oh. I don't think that was the answer he was expecting. He looks around in the dark, a bit flustered. I'm sorry, I say. Oliver shrugs. No, it's okay. I guess I'll head on home then. He half turns, facing the street as if he's about to head off, but he doesn't. Instead, he just stands there, frozen, in this pose that looks like he's about to leave. I wait a bit longer, but nothing happens. You're not leaving, are you? He drops his head, looking miserable. I really need someone to talk to, he says. I glance at the schoolwork on my desk and then back at Oliver. Okay, fine, I'll be right down. Just don't make any more noise. Oliver covers his mouth and holds up an okay sign. A few minutes later, I find Oliver waiting for me on the porch steps, his hands in his pockets. It's dark out. The moment I stepped into the porch light, Oliver's eyes widen. Oh, your shirt. He stammers a little and steps back. It's a bit chilly tonight, so I threw on Sam's plaid shirt before I left my room without thinking about it. I wasn't sure if he'd notice. I couldn't find my jacket, I say. I roll up the sleeves and cross my arms, trying not to bring attention to it. The two of us stand in silence for a while. So, where are we walking? I ask. Nowhere really, Oliver says. Is that okay? Sure. He smiles a little. In the porch light, I see him better. Dark brown hair curls across his pale forehead, not a strand out of place. I've always been envious of Oliver's hair. The curls can't be natural. Oliver motions me down the steps. After you. We walk along the lamp-lit sidewalks in silence. The only sounds are our footsteps on the concrete and the occasional passing car. Oliver stares straight ahead, his eyes distant. I don't know where we're heading or if that matters. After a while, I decided to say something. Are we going to talk at all? Sure, he says. What you'd want to talk about? I stop walking. Oliver, you asked me to come out tonight. Oliver pauses on the sidewalk without looking back. True. He glances up and down the street for cars. This way, he says, and crosses the road. I follow him reluctantly as we leave the neighborhood. I get the sense he's leading us somewhere. Oliver doesn't look at me. He keeps walking. After a while of this, he finally asks me something. Do you still think about him? I don't need to ask who. Of course I do. How often would you say? All of the time. Oliver nods. Same. We cross the street again, avoiding the lights from the town. Oliver drifts into a gravel road I'm not sure we should be walking on. I follow him anyway, checking back and forth for cars. Have you checked Sam's Facebook lately? Oliver continues. No, I deleted mine recently. Why? It's really weird, he says. People are still writing on it, on his wall, as if he can still read it or something. What are they saying? Exactly what you expect them to say, Oliver says, his jaw tense. I can't stand it. No one even uses Facebook anymore, you know? I don't remember the last time I wrote on someone's wall. Suddenly he's dead, and it's flooded? I read through them all. It's like they're not even writing to him. It's like they're writing to each other, trying to see who can grieve the most, you know? I'm not sure what to say. People cope in different ways, sometimes. You shouldn't let it get to you. It's not different if someone else doing it. He points across the road. This way. It's getting late, but I don't say anything. The town is somewhere behind us now, and I lost track of how long we've been walking. I usually wouldn't go this far out, especially at night, but Oliver's with me, and I can tell he doesn't want to be alone. The temperature drops a little, and I see my breath in front of me, but for some reason I don't feel cold. I keep my arms crossed and focused on the sound of the gravel crunching beneath my shoes until Oliver suddenly stops, and I almost bump into him. Then I look up and see the sign. Even in the dark, the bold white letters reflect the words. Leaving Ellensburg. We're standing at the edge of the city limits. The field of grass stretches out from the line of gravel that divides Ellensburg from the rest of the world. The air is still. The stars are beginning to show themselves. I look left and see the moon hanging lower over the trees, lighting the tips of the grass that are slightly frosted from the cold, making it glitter like the moonlight on water. Oliver touches the line with his foot as I stand near his side, watching. He stares out into the distance for a while, hands deep in his pockets. Sam and I would come here a lot, he says, almost wistfully. I mean, we used to anyway, he looks at me, before he met you. I don't say anything. Oliver looks away. You know, for the first time, I was mad at you. For what? For stealing my best friend from me, he says. I was always a little jealous, if you wanted to know the truth. How he'd always leave me to go see you, and whenever we hung out, you were all he talked about. I looked back at him, a flutter of laughter inside me. That's funny because I was always jealous of you for the same thing. Oliver smiles and then stares out again. Me and Sam made a lot of plans together, you know, to leave Ellensburg eventually whenever we got sick of this place or one of us was having a bad day. He'd walk all the way here and step over the line. He says, and he does it. We always talked about finishing college at Central and where we would go after, but that was before he made new plans with you. And that's why you always ignored me? I'm sorry about that. It's okay, I say, and cross the line too. Maybe I wasn't the nicest to you either. After a moment, Oliver lets out a breath, his eyes glinting. It really kills me, you know, that he never made it out of here, that this was it, that this line was as far as he got. He shakes his head. I swallow hard. It hurts me too. I'm glad he met you though, Oliver says without looking at me. I could tell you made him happy. The times you were together. At least he had that. When I don't say anything, he adds, don't listen to any of them, by the way, the others who blame you. They don't know anything. I look away as he continues. Sam really loved you, you know. If they knew him at all, they know how much he'd hate the things they're saying. I'll try to stop it if I hear anything. I don't know what else to say. Thank you. The two of us stare out at the grass in silence for a while. Then out of nowhere, Oliver says something almost to himself, or the moon. I wish I could tell him one last thing. Then he turns to me. Do you think about that? About what you would say to Sam if you had one more chance? I look down. He doesn't know that I already have that chance. That I still have Sam, but I can't tell him this. Yeah, I've thought about it. Me too. It's getting late, but we stand there in silence, just thinking and staring out at the other side of the world for a few more minutes, longer before we finally have to head back. Once we reach my house, Oliver walks me to the front door before I head inside. I have to ask him. So, what would you say to him? Oliver stares at me, somewhat confused. I mean to Sam, if you had the chance. Oh, well he stammers. His mouth opens and closes as he's forgotten to speak, as if something's stopping him. Seeing him struggle like this, I touch his shoulder. You don't have to tell me, I say. Oliver breathes relief. Maybe another time, he says. I smile and unlock the door. Do you think we can do this again? Oliver asks. Go on another walk, you mean? Yeah, he says, nodding. Or, hang out or something. I think about this. I like that, but just knock next time. Or a text will do. I'll try to remember that, he says. Although I did text you, but you never responded. When? Earlier today, and yesterday too. You mean more than once? That can't be right. I check my messages again to be sure. There's not a single text from Oliver. Now that I think about it, there aren't any new texts from anyone. Are they not coming through anymore? I notice this has been happening since I started talking to Sam a few days ago. It might be my phone. It's been acting strange lately. That's a relief, Oliver says. I thought you were ignoring me. So you decided to show up and throw rocks at my window. Oliver holds back a grin. What can I say? I'm annoying. Maybe a little bit. Anyway, I should go inside. But before I do, Oliver leans in without a word and wraps his arms around me again. It's a longer embrace than last time, but I let it happen. Your shirt, he whispers near my ear. It still smells like him. It does. We say goodnight. I close the door behind me and listen to Oliver linger on the porch before he eventually makes his way down the steps. As I get ready for bed, I kept wondering what Oliver would say to Sam if he had the chance. I wonder if he will ever trust me enough to share it, or maybe it's something I might have already known. Chapter 6. There is this song I listen to whenever I sit down to write. It's called Fields of Gold. The beautiful live version by the singer Eva Cassidy. The song opens with a distant guitar and a sad voice that sounds like a wolf whimpering or a songbird crying. Every time it plays, I close my eyes and see myself there standing in a field of golden barley, a cool breeze blowing my hair, and the warm sun setting against my back. No one is ever with me, only the endless rolling fields and the sound of a guitar coming from somewhere I can't see. Sam learned to play the song for me after he tapped my shoulder in class and asked what I was listening to. I remember one day while we were lying out on the grass, I asked him to sing it for me, even though I knew he was sometimes embarrassed of his voice. And he said, someday. I've asked him many times after, and he always had an excuse, like he hadn't warmed up yet, or he was feeling a bit hoarse, or he needed some more practice. Maybe he was afraid he would ruin the song for me because he knew how much I loved it. He only hummed it to me on a few rare occasions, like the night he sat with me on the porch after I helped my father move his things out of the house and watched him drive away. As I listened to the song alone in my room, I suddenly realized I will never hear Sam sing it for me, and that someday never came. The next morning is filled with Sam's music. I find one of his old CDs in my mom's car and sit alone in the parking lot, listening to it before school. It's a playlist Sam made me of live recordings he mixed in his bedroom, each song tugging me with beautiful acoustic guitar riffs he played over popular ballads that he made his own. He has an old taste in music he gets from his dad, Elton John, Air Supply, Hall & Oates. Even though no one really listens to CDs anymore, Sam always made them for me. Anyway, because he knows I prefer physical copies over digital counterparts. Just like with books, I like something real to hold in my hands. Sam recorded dozens of them over the years, each one longer and more thoughtful than the last, personalized to how he felt about me at the time. Something I learned later. He loved a good slow song, something we had in common. One of his favorites was Fleetwood Mac, Landslide. It was one of his go-to when someone asked him to play something on the guitar. The music scene in Ellensburg isn't the best, but he made the most of it. He performed at school talent shows, weddings, and a few coffee shops that allowed him to, and 100 times only for us. I always told him this place wasn't big enough for him. He told me the same. I realize this is the only CD I have left from him after I threw everything out. On the front, written in blue ink, is my name in his handwriting. Before I get out of the car, I put the CD carefully back in its sleeve and keep it inside my bag. School hasn't changed since I returned. Heads turn the other way and no one says a word to me. I really don't mind being ignored anymore. There's some peace in being left alone. I was looking forward to art history class today because it's the only class Mika and I have together, but she didn't show up again. I haven't seen her in a while. I finally texted her this morning, but she hasn't responded yet. I'm not sure if I should be worried. I hope everything's okay. Maybe she's not getting my texts. I find Jay waiting for me when I get out of third period. He's wearing a sky blue dress shirt, casually unbuttoned, with the sleeves rolled up. He styled his hair differently today, letting soft wisps fall above his brow, making him look like a pop star. It's almost criminal how this school doesn't appreciate his style. When I compliment him on it, he smiles, bringing out his cheekbones. Remind me, did you model back home in Thailand? I asked. Jay angles his face toward the ceiling light, eyes smoldering. Is it obvious? Your cheekbones. We plan to meet Yuki outside for lunch today. Rachel won't be joining us. She's been trying to help start an Asian student club with some friends, and they need 25 signatures by next week. Jay told me they're having a tough time getting people to join. There's a table set up at the end of the hallway. Rachel is sitting with her friend, Konomi, talking with a few seniors who have crowded around them. When I notice Taylor and Liam are there, my skin prickles. Liam picks up one of the flyers. So none of us can sign up? It says here Asian students only. It doesn't say that, Rachel says. Taylor tilts her head a little, pretending to look interested. So what are the requirements? We don't have requirements, Rachel answers. Anyone can join. Then why call it the Asian Student Club, Taylor says, pointing at the table sign. That doesn't sound very inclusive. What do you guys even do? Probably wasting school money to watch anime, Liam laughs. My cheeks burn. Sam would speak up if he was around, but he isn't anymore. Would he want me to say something? Stand up for Rachel? As I stand there wondering what to do, Jay walks right up to the table. What's the problem? Liam shoots him a look. Who said we had a problem? If you're not interested in the club, you don't have to join. Jay says, no need to make fun of it. Taylor folds her arms. Ever heard of a joke? No one was even talking to you, Liam says. He straightens himself as if to intimidate Jay by backing up, but Jay just stands there keeping his cool. Before this could escalate further, I finally appear between them, hoping to diffuse this. You know, your jokes aren't that funny, I say to Liam. Why don't you guys leave them alone? Stop wasting everyone's time. Liam exchanges a look with Taylor before he turns back to me. Are we bothering your friends? The only ones at school who talk to you? At least they speak English, so that's something. You're an asshole, I nearly shout. His eyes narrow at me. At least I showed up to my friend's funeral. Then again, I didn't have anything to do with his death. A chill goes through me. I don't even know what to say back. I just stand there, trying not to let the shock show on my face. Taylor shakes her head before turning away. Before they walk off, Liam grabs a handful of candy from a bowl on the table and stuffs it in his pocket. Later, once they're down the hall, I let out a heavy breath and turn to the table. You all right, Rachel? I ask. No worries. Rachel smiles as if nothing's really wrong, as if what they said didn't bother her. It's a smile I'll never be able to understand. What about you? She asks me back. Are you all right? I don't have an answer for her. I take the sign-up sheet and write my name down. The day doesn't get better. I can't seem to pay attention in any of my classes. Every time I stare at the clock, I think it stops, making the day feel longer. I scribble on a notebook paper, and I stare out the window to get time moving again, but it doesn't work. Nobody takes the seat beside me. I pretend not to notice. My teachers drone on, and I don't hear a word they're saying. All I can think about is Sam. I wish I could talk to him right now. But we made plans not to call until later tonight, so I'll have to wait. As I'm sitting in the back of English class, something occurs to me. I wonder why I haven't thought of it before. I take my phone out and send him a text, telling him I miss him. The message fails. I try to send another one, which also can't be delivered. That's strange. I'll have to ask him about this later. The bell rings, relieving me from a long lecture on Oliver Twist. As the class begins packing up, Mr. Gill, our English teacher, says something that makes my body jolt. And remember, if you haven't already, make sure you hand in your papers to me before you leave. Papers? A cold dose of shock pours over me as I remember the comparative assignment between Hamlet and Gatsby that I haven't thought about in weeks. It was due last Wednesday, but Mr. Gill gave the class extra time to get it done because of what happened, because of Sam. He sent us several email reminders about it, yet somehow I still forgot. To Mr. Gill, turning in late work is an offensive crime that could lead to failing the class. As everybody files out, I don't know what to do but approach his desk, even though I have no words prepared. So I cut out the small talk and jump to the point. Mr. Gill, I'm so sorry. I actually don't have the paper right now, I say. And why is that? I don't really have an excuse. I've just been distracted with everything. He picks up the stack of papers and evens it out on the desk in front of me. You're right. There isn't an excuse. I know. I'm really sorry. I'm behind on a lot of things. I don't know what else to say. Is it possible for me to give it to you tomorrow or something? Julie, I already gave you extra time on this. Mr. Gill rises from his seat, carrying the stack of papers. I know. I've been having a real tough couple of weeks, I say, following him around the desk. I haven't really been able to think straight. And I understand, which is why I gave everybody an extension, he repeats, as if that's enough, as if I should be grateful or something. I can't simply give you an extra day because that would be unfair to the rest of the class. Please, Mr. Gill, I say more desperately, can't I just turn it in late and get marked down? I'm sorry, Julie. I can't accept a late paper. It's in the syllabus. But why not? Why can't you mark me down or something? We only have 4 papers for the semester. 1 0 could bring me close to failing, and I won't be able to graduate. And if I can't graduate, then I won't be able to leave this stupid town and move to Portland to go to Reed College and get into the writing program, even though I haven't heard back from them yet. Because I'm preparing you for the real world. Mr. Gill points vaguely out the window. And out there, life doesn't give you extensions, even during the hardest times. So let this be a valuable lesson for you. You'll thank me later. He puts a hand up to end our conversation. This isn't the first time he's said something like this. He truly believes he's doing me a great favor by being strict. But this isn't the real world, I want to tell him. It's high school. And as much as I don't want to care about it, failing this stupid class might affect the rest of my life. I don't say anything else because there's no point. I storm out of his class before I say something I'll regret. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe he's right. I should prepare myself for a world where nobody is on your side or willing to help you out, even when it costs them nothing at all. I need to go home and talk to Sam. He'll understand me. I rush to my locker to grab a few things before I head out. But someone's there waiting in front of it. Oh, Mika. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at me. Her face is pale and there are dark rings under her eyes. I wonder if she's sick. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I haven't seen you around. I texted you a few times. I've been home. Her hair is a bit of a mess. I move some of it out of her face. I whisper, you seem tired. I get it. I look terrible, she says, leaning back against the lockers. I didn't say that. I've had a lot of stuff to deal with. She looks around us. And I don't like being back here. You mean at school? She lowers her gaze. Is there anything I can do? Mika looks at me. There's a vigil tonight. It would be nice if you came too. There's another one? It's a candlelight vigil, she says. The school asked my family to put it together. Everyone is supposed to meet in town later tonight. I could really use some help. Sam and I have another call planned tonight. I don't want to keep him waiting on me, wondering where I am. But I can't tell Mika this. What should I say to her? I don't know if I can yet. Mika gives me a look. So you're gonna miss this one too? Mika, I start. I don't know why I asked, she says, picking her bag up from the floor. I knew you wouldn't go. I'll see you later. A pang of guilt stabs me as I stand there unsure of what to say. If only she knew my reasons. I can't leave things like this between us. As Mika walks off, I grab her arm. I'll come to the vigil. You don't have to, she says, taking her arm back. I want to. I mean it. I want to be there this time. Mika studies my face, reading me like she always does. It's at 8 o'clock. If you want to meet at my house, we can go together. I'm supposed to call Sam around that time, but I'm sure I can call him right after. He'll understand. I don't want to disappoint Mika again. I hate seeing her this way. I'll be there, I promise. Tonight, she says to make sure. Tonight. I throw my bag on the floor the second I get home. The house is quiet. My mother must still be at work. As I open the door to my room, a breeze blows through the window, sending papers flying off my desk. I hurry over to shut it, but the frame is stuck again. I give it a few good hits, but it doesn't budge, so I leave it alone. I don't even bother to pick up the papers. I just walk around them, leaving them where they are. I was planning to write in my new journal once I got home, work on my writing sample, but I've lost the motivation. Today was draining. There's an ache in my left temple that's hard to ignore. I keep thinking about Liam and Taylor, and Mr. Gill, and that stupid paper I forgot to turn in. I wish I could talk to Sam right now. I miss having him around. I miss being in the same room with him, my head on his chest, talking through whatever was bothering me. He was always there to listen, even when he didn't know what to say back. I checked my phone. Our next call isn't until later tonight. I know I should wait, but I've had such a terrible day and am so desperate to hear from him. His shirt still hangs on the back of the chair. I stare at it for a long time before I decide to take the chance and call him anyway. The phone rings longer than usual, but eventually he answers. His voice is warm in my ear. "Hey, Sam? I wasn't expecting to hear from you so soon," he says. "Is everything all right?" "I couldn't wait to call you," I say. "I hope that's okay." "Of course it is. You can always call me Jules, whenever you need." I breathe a sigh of relief. "Okay, that's good to know. Are you sure you're all right? You sound a bit tense." He could always read my voice. It was one of the things I loved most about him. I could never hide what I was feeling. "I had a rough day, that's all." "What happened?" "Just some school stuff," I say, sparing him the details. "It's nothing really." I sit on the edge of the bed and let out a deep breath to release some tension. Now that I have Sam on the line, I don't want to ruin our call with talks of an English paper I forgot to turn in. "We don't have to talk about it." Sam laughs a little. "Is this the real Julie?" "What do you mean?" "I mean, you once complained to me for 4 hours about an overdue library book, remember?" he says. "You can tell me anything. Pretend it's just like before. Let me know what's wrong." I sigh. I'm just behind on everything, and I forgot to turn in a paper. "For Mr. Gill's class?" "Yes, but it's not that big of a deal," I say. "We have one more coming up, and if I get a good score on that, I should be okay." I glance up at the calendar that's pinned above my desk, and graduation isn't too far away. I just have to push through a little longer, you know? I'll be fine. For the first time, I want Sam to know I'll be okay, even if I'm not so sure. "Graduation," Sam repeats the word, almost to himself. I forget about that for a second. Must be really nice to have something to look forward to. My throat thickens at this. I'm not sure what to say back. I guess so, I say. Suddenly the image of me walking in a cap and gown doesn't seem appealing anymore, especially if Sam won't be there. Maybe I should skip it altogether. "Have you figured out what your plan is? After graduation, I mean." I go quiet, unsure of how to answer him. Because Sam and I used to stay up all night thinking about this, mapping out a future together, where we would live, the jobs we wished for, things we wanted to do. Now he's gone, and I'm left with a bunch of plans that have been ripped in half. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring it out. You haven't heard from Reed yet? Sam asked. No, not yet. I'm sure you'll get in. Things will work out. I hope so. Truth is, I should have heard back by now. I've been checking the mail every morning for a letter from them. Reed is a realistic choice for me, given my grades. Honestly, I'm tired of reading books where the protagonists only apply to Ivy League colleges and somehow always get in. I don't quite have the resume for that. I like Reed's quieter reputation that goes under the radar. But I don't like talking about the future right now. Not like this. Not when Sam doesn't have a future of his own to plan out. So I changed the subject. I saw Mika today at school, I say. They're holding a candlelight vigil for you tonight. She asked me to go with her. I think a lot of people will be there. Mika. Sam's voice brightens at her name. How is she? She's been better. She really misses you. I really miss her too, Sam says. I think about her a lot. Sometimes I wish I could talk to her, you know? I move the phone to the other ear. Why don't you? That would mean so much to her. Sam and Mika grew up in the same house together. You would guess they were siblings from how close they were. Sam lets out a sigh. If I could, I would, Jules. From the open window, the sound of a car coming up the driveway lets me know my mother's home. I go to make sure my door is locked in case she tries to come in, which she does occasionally. Can I ask you something? Sam asks after some silence. Of course, anything. Since I'm not there anymore, can you look out for Mika for me? Make sure she's okay and everything, I mean. Of course I will, Sam. I feel a pang of guilt that he needed to ask me this. I make a mental note to reach out to her as soon as we end the call. I'll make sure she's okay, I promise. Thank you, Sam says. I'm sure she could use a friend right now, even if she won't say it. So please don't forget, okay? I won't forget, so don't worry. I know you won't, because you always remember, and that means a lot to me. We don't say much more about this. The conversation continues for a little longer until my mother comes up the stairs, calling me to help bring in groceries. Anyway, I should probably let you go now, Sam says. I'm sure you have a lot of work to catch up on. Don't want to distract you from the world. You've never been a distraction. Sam laughs. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay? Wait, I say before he hangs up. One last thing. There's something I've been afraid to bring up. It's been burning in the back of my mind since I returned to school, but I don't even know how to ask him this. It takes a while for the words to come out. What is it? Sam asks. I hesitate. Are you mad at me? Mad about what? About what happened that night. I'm not sure what you mean, Julie. I swallow hard, wondering how to say this. I mean, what I'm asking, do you blame me for it? Do you blame me for what happened to you? A long silence. Oh. Sam's voice deepens, finally understanding. Julie, why would you even ask me that? Of course I don't blame you. I could never blame you for what happened, he says. None of it's your fault, all right? But he stops there. But what? Sam takes some time to answer. To be honest, I don't know what else to say. I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that question. I don't really blame anyone, because it won't change anything, you know? Nothing can change what happened. It's hard enough to accept that. For the first time, there's pain in his voice, like something sharp is caught in his throat. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked, I start. It's okay, Jules, really, he says to ease me. Where did the question come from anyway? I hope that's not what you've been thinking. I didn't at first, but I've heard some people talking at school. Sam's voice sharpens. Forget them. They don't know what they're talking about. They weren't there when it happened, okay? Don't let them get into your head. I'll try not to. I'm sorry you have to deal with all this right now, he says. And I'm sorry you died. Neither of us says anything else. After we hang up the phone, I pick the papers up from the floor and sit down at my desk. It's hard to focus after that conversation. I spend more than an hour trying to start a history paper, but barely get 2 sentences down. I keep thinking about calling Sam back, but I need to get some work done. The words inside the textbooks blur and rearrange themselves, and I forget what it is I'm reading about. I must have dozed off at some point because when I open my eyes, I'm no longer in my room. A fog moves across my shoes, and when I look up, I find myself standing at a bus station. It's dark out. I can't see anything past a curtain of fog, not even the sky. I glance around to find someone, but it's only me out there. The only thing is the suitcase I borrowed from my dad when I last visited him. There's a buzzing in my pocket. I reached inside and pulled out my phone. I turn on the screen. 9 missed calls from Sam. 12 texts I haven't opened. It's 11:48 p.m. Out of nowhere, the sound of a truck rumbles like thunder, but I can't see it. It is this sound and the exact time of the clock that brings me back to that night from nearly 2 weeks ago. This is the night Sam died, and this is where I stood. The phone rings again, even louder this time. It's Sam. I didn't bother to pick up last time because how could I know? This time I do, just to see if the ending changes. The line crackles in my ear, but I don't hear anything. Sam? Sam? Are you there? Nothing but white noise, like someone crinkling paper. I angle the phone and turn in circles until a voice finally comes through the line, but I can barely understand it. Julie? Who's there? Hello? Sam, it's me. It's Julie. Where are you? I can't find you, Julie. The phone keeps crackling. I don't think he can hear me. Sam, I'm coming. Don't worry, just wait right there. Julie, where are you? The phone crackles again before it sparks in my hand, and I yank it from my ear. Smoke pours from the screen as I'm shouting Sam's name, filling the air like fog until I can no longer see what's in front of me except vanishing streaks of red and white sparks. A horn goes off, followed by a sound of guitar strings breaking, and I wake up at my desk. The smoke is gone. I don't bother to check the time or see if it's dark out. Instead, I hurry downstairs, grab the car keys, and head out to the door. I back the car out of the driveway before my mother comes out and head up Route 10, following the railroad, leaving Ellensburg. This might sound ridiculous, but Sam might be out there waiting for me. I have to go find him. My headlights are the only thing shining on the barren highway for miles. I keep looking out the window to see if Sam's walking along the side of the road. I can't help thinking back to that night. Sam was at a bonfire by the river with some friends. It was the same night I was returning from my trip to Seattle to visit my dad. Sam had promised to pick me up, like he always did. But when I called him from outside of the station, he was still at the bonfire, more than an hour away. He kept apologizing, but I was so upset he forgot. I hung up and stopped answering his calls. I told him I would walk home. How could I know that would be the last thing I ever said to him? I guess Sam thought I must have been testing him, which, in hindsight, maybe I was, because he left the bonfire to find me. It was somewhere between 11:30 and midnight, while Sam was driving down Route 10 when a truck swerved into his lane. I imagine Sam must have honked for his life. I wonder if he tried to dodge out of the way. But Sam didn't die in the wreck that flipped his car. Not only did he manage to stay conscious, he freed himself from the seat, crawled out onto the road, and began walking. Somehow, he made it more than a mile down the road before collapsing. An officer said it was a testament to how strong he was. I think it was a testament to how much he wanted to live. It took hours before someone finally found him. It was too late by then. Sam had lost too much blood and died from exhaustion. No one likes to say it, but maybe it would have been easier for him if he died there in the crash. But his will to live on was too stubborn, just like him. They found Sam's phone near the crash site, covered in glass and dirt. Maybe if I had called at just the right time, he might have heard it and picked up, and I could have sent for help. Maybe if I hadn't been so angry with him, he might not have left the bonfire so quickly and might have missed the truck entirely. Maybe if the stars were aligned differently, or the wind blew the other direction, or suddenly started raining, or something else, Sam would still be alive. And I wouldn't be driving out here in the middle of the night looking for him. There's something up ahead. My headlights illuminate the dark road in front of me as I slow the car. Along the side of the road, the rails have been tied up with dozens of white ribbons. I put the car in park and get out. I follow the line of ribbons until I reach it. There, beside a wreath of flowers and burnt candles, is a portrait of Sam nailed to the rail. I kneel down in the dirt beside it. He's wearing the denim jacket, the one I threw out the other day. A breeze sends some ribbons fluttering. I touch the picture frame with my fingers. "I'm sorry, Sam," I whisper. After all this time, I finally found him, but I'm too late. Chapter 7. Before. The drive-in is crowded for a Tuesday night. There are a few tables outside, each packed with teenagers, sharing fries beneath long strings of light. It takes a while before some seats open up for us. I am sitting beside Mika while Sam leaves to grab our drinks. This is the first time the three of us have hung out together. I've only met Mika once at a party a few weeks ago. I wasn't planning on going out tonight, but Sam texted me an hour ago, asking me if I wanted to grab something to eat. He didn't tell me his cousin was coming too. Mika and I barely speak to each other. I wish Sam hadn't left us alone like this. Maybe I should have offered to pick up our order instead. I wonder what's taken him so long. Then, out of the blue, without even turning to me, Mika asks something completely inappropriate. "So you're in love with Sam, right?" What? I was thrown off to string a sentence together. Something gets caught in my throat. Excuse me? Mika runs a calm hand through her smooth black hair, unbothered by my reaction. "I'm just saying, he seems to be really into you." My eyes widen, shocked by her nonchalance. "Should you be telling me that?" Mika gives me a look. "Don't pretend you didn't already guess. It's so obvious. The whole school knows." My mouth moves, but no words come out. What's taking Sam so long? Why did he leave me with her? "You should compliment his hair," Mika continues. "What? Why?" "It's only a suggestion," she says, and leans closer to me. "Do you like Sons of Seymour? The band, I mean." "I think I've heard of them," I say vaguely. "They're playing downtown this weekend. Sam's obsessed with their newest album. You should suggest we go. He already bought his ticket." "Then why would I need to suggest?" She holds up a hand. "Just do it." A second later, Sam reappears through the crowd, holding milkshakes. Mika whispers, "He's coming back. Act natural." Sam sets the tray down between us. "So they ran out of straws," he says, reaching into his jacket. "Had to fight a guy for the last two." He hands one to each of us. I guess I'll wait for mine to melt so I can sip it. Thank you for joining me for this week's reading on Turning Seeds. We are only 3 weeks away from the end of this story. Join me next week to continue turning the seeds to You Reach Sam by Dustin Thao.